What the dog doing?
What is up, people? My name's Shadow. We're going to be talking about Twitch and the content on Twitch. I'm going to bring in my co-host in just a second to get this party started. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. What is up?
Hey.
Hey.
All right, we are live.
Oh shit.
Howdy.
Hey, hello.
All right.
I'll tell you about that one later.
So,
Sounds good.
topic of today: content on Twitch, suitable or unsuitable?
The rise and fall of Twitch.
Yeah, if you're trying to run frickin' softcore porn.
I'm telling you, man. I looked up Twitch the other day under just chatting, and the first thing that I see is body art. She was completely naked, had little covers over the hoo-hoos, but still completely naked. Now, if you go and report somebody, you have the ability for nudity and sexual content, right? Nudity is nudity. It doesn't matter. What's you guys' thoughts?
Well, first off, if you don't know what we're talking about, Twitch is an American video live streaming service. Focuses on live streaming that includes broadcasts like esports competitions, music, creative content, IRL streams, or in real life. It started back, it was 2007 is what I actually was reading by Justin Kahn. And it started as Justin TV. And it strictly was him streaming his life 24/7. And eventually the service was rebranded as a game streaming service, and it slowly shed that identity to instead host a massive range of live stream content. Twitch actually started as a spin-off of Justin TV back in 2011, 12 years ago. God, it's been forever, it feels like.
It has.
Yeah,
actually, the funny part is, first went back when it was just because I had a Justin TV account. You couldn't actually stream gameplay on Justin TV at first. They wouldn't allow it. It was actually everything but video game content. Once they did the Twitch thing, it used to be Twitch. It used to be Justin TV was for everything non-gaming related, and Twitch was for everything that was actually your video game stuff. So like how you have the IRL and the hot tub thing and all these other categories didn't exist because it was actually meant to be on the other platform.
Twitch did become so popular, it did get completely rebranded from Justin TV to Twitch Interactive in 2014. And then, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, of course, us as streamers do know that there is the Prime Gaming stuff now, but Twitch was acquired by Amazon, so the parent company of Twitch now is Amazon and not Justin Kahn like it used to be.
Well,
for $900 million.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, it takes people like us, and females have always had it easier on Twitch, becoming popular and making money. But over the last couple of years, you got people doing hot tub streams, and I mean, I actually have something here. I'm on the Twitch's homepage. I'm going to pull it up on the background here. And we're just going to scroll down to just chatting. I'm going to get rid of us for a second. And look, boom. I mean, you know, this is... It's not as bad as today, but I mean... Normally you get on there and you got hot tub time machines and yoga, massage therapy going on. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is
even worse on Kick too.
Oh man. But
it's really bad on Kick.
My point that I try to get across to people is that you know, being naked is not a talent.
No. What's happened is all of these women on Twitch as streamers have, what's the word, exploited the system and basically found a way to make money by selling themselves.
Well,
That's what they're doing, because viewers who come onto Twitch can support them and monetarily support them by subscribing to them, buying what they call bits. It's a monetary donation that you can send to people during live chats. There's different categories of the Twitch subscriptions, starting, I think it's $4.99 up to $25 a month or something, and each level is like a different tier of subscriber-only perks and benefits. But when I think of perks and benefits on Twitch, I think originally as like emotes that you can use in live chat, or things like that, to where you get little things that other people wouldn't get just being a basic non-subscribing viewer.
Well,
but now it's hard to tell what's actually being called benefits on these streamers' chats.
The point is that if you want, as a woman or a dude, to sell your body online, there are streaming platforms for that. You have Pornhub, OnlyFans, stuff like that. It's not, kids are on here. This is not suitable for it.
Actually, the irony is OnlyFans no longer allows adult content on their website anymore.
Oh, well.
I was say that too. They did change that. It was a big thing for a while. For I think the first couple of years it was around or so.
Well, regardless,
haven't really delved into that one, but
it's just trash now. And again, I will never stand in front of somebody making money on giving what they were born with or stuff like that. But in all honesty, yeah, right. But we got kids on here. We got it's an easy access thing for people to come on here and get this type of content, which I don't think should be on here. Neither should gambling. If you're drinking, shouldn't be on here. We got to have standards, especially for the rest of us who do the job, and there's no consequences for these people. They get like $1 million deals. It's sickening is what it is.
Well, before the hot tub streams and things like that, it's basically what we're calling them now, whether it's massage therapy or nudity or whatever, we're going to call it hot tub streams. So before that, the gambling content is the most prevalent cause for Twitch's downfall. A lot of people started doing it, and it was more of like a trying to hide it, but not really type thing for Twitch. And Twitch started finding out about it, and so did other people that were completely against it. So it was, gosh, it just really broke Twitch for a while, and that became the biggest part of the downfall.
Well, look, if Twitch wants to go and have some type of service like that, that's fine. But you need to make it 18 plus or 21 plus, and verify ID.
That's the biggest thing that Twitch doesn't do. You can get on Twitch and sign up for free as a viewer or a streamer, and they don't check ages. They just ask for your name and email address, and sign up with a username and password. So anybody at any age can get on this platform and see or put content on there.
So here's the thing. Their standard guidelines. We're shifting from a garment-specific policy to one based on standard level of coverage. With exceptions for certain situations, we've outlined these minimum levels of coverage to increase clarity on expectations, so you're not left guessing what is or is not acceptable. We don't permit streamers to be fully or partially nude, including exposing genitalia or buttocks. The buttocks. We do not permit the visible outline of genitalias, even when covered. Broadcasting nude or partially nude minors is always prohibited, regardless of context, obviously, for obvious reasons. For those who present as women, we ask that you cover your nipples. We do not permit exposed under bust. Cleavage is unrestricted as long as the coverage requirements are met. For all streamers, you must cover the area extending from your hips to your bottom of your pelvis or buttocks. For those areas of the body where coverage is required, the coverage must be fully opaque. Sheer or partially see-through clothing does not constitute as coverage. Augmented reality avatars that translate real-life movement into digital characters are subject to this. Avatars are subject to the same standard as real people. As cosplay and other costumes. For details on how this policy applies to IRL outdoors or body art, please continue reading. Our previous policy relied on the assumed shared understanding of what was appropriate in specific context. Establishing a standard for coverage reduces this policy's reliance on the assumed single definition of contextually applicable. This is new standard better translates across global context and will help improve enforcement and consistency. Instead of the good old boy or tribal mentality of what was acceptable, not acceptable, they actually eventually made a policy. But this is where the people get away with this. This is the situational exceptions. We recognize there are situations that call for attire that is prohibited under our standard guidelines, such as swimming, body art, concerts, festivals. So we've added exceptions to help you successfully navigate these occasions. Exceptions for each of these, or explanations for each of these exceptions is listed below and can be found with the updated policy. IRL streaming, swim and beach, concerts and festivals, body art, context transitions, embedded media, studio and other Twitch endorsed content, and breastfeeding.
Oh, wow.
This list is not exhaustive. We'll update it periodically. I mean, obviously, they can't list every practical thing on there. Periodically, as the community's needs evolve, if you find yourself in a situation that is not described by one of our expectations and would like to consider future inclusions, please email policyfeedback@twitch.tv. Meantime, you're expected to follow the standard guidelines below. Alongside the updated we're making to our nudity attire policy, we've added clarification to our sexually suggestive content policy. We've continued to evaluate the attire and sexual context separately, and always sexually explicit and suggestive content are prohibited on Twitch. Basically, you can't stream porn. To further clarify our stance, we've added concrete examples of the context. Okay, the concrete examples is not even listed on here. So it goes to show you there. So let me go click on their thing.
So I wonder when this was last updated, because if you click on the Twitch's homepage, there will be IRL streams that pop up.
So you can't upload content that contains depictions of real nudity, which includes realistic. So basically, no porn. But as far as what you're saying is, like the body art and stuff. They had back when Mixer it was Beam, and then it became Mixer when Microsoft bought it. So this is where the art thing came into kind of like where Shadow is going with it. So back when they were doing it, they allowed nudity so long it was within the context of art, whether it's drawn nudity for like, pen art, digital nudity for people like, like nude artists, whatever, they allowed that content to be there because it's not like you were streaming porn, you were actually creating art. And so long as the whole subject matter and the focus wasn't on boobs or genitalia and buttocks and things like that, it was actually okay. So long, because it was all part of the great thing. Like if you're drawing the face and you had to draw the boobs and stuff, and the boobage is on screen, they're not gonna like instantly kill your stream because you're not gravitating on it like, oh, look at the boobas, let me play with the boobas. Like, if you start doing stuff like that, then it turns into another situation. Well, so Twitch adopted the same policy of, so long as it's in the context of art and it's not the main focus, it's allowed. But these people that he's showing like earlier up on the screen, where it just basically they have focused on their camera, on their cleavage, and then they got these little swimsuits that just basically are nipple tassels. They're basically tied nipple tassels.
Yep.
Let's just call it that.
Exactly.
Nipple tassels.
Exactly.
The problem.
considered okay by Twitch standards, but it technically shouldn't be considered okay.
Well, in many societies, pornography is considered art, so you got to really be careful on what you put as art. But we're also forgetting about Kimika. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. You can do a quick Google search on her. She is a girl that got caught having sex on Twitch live in the reflection
Oh,
of her apartment window, and she got banned for 7 days. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh my god.
Yep. I'm not bringing shame to her. I'm just pointing out that the rules of Twitch's money makers is a little different than, say, us.
Yeah,
so,
exactly, because we do not bring value, because not even us, as any smaller content creator does not bring in the same level of value as the larger creators do to them. So as much as they say it's a single tiered system, it's definitely something that would get them a 7-day ban will get you permanently yedded off the platform.
Yep.
Exactly.
I hate to break it up, guys, but today's sponsor is brought to you by, hold on, let me do the big tooch, and there we go. Today's sponsor is brought to you by Log. It goes over in pairs and down the stairs. Pick yours up at RS Toys today. Only $2,999 plus tax. Limited supplies. All right, back to the stream. So,
oh my goodness.
But to go over your thing, yes, there is the whole suggestive, like, the whole this stream, like, 18 plus. There actually they do have a beta for 21 plus content, but they won't actually release it. The other thing to it is they don't want to actually say, yes, you can, we're going to ESRB our actual application, because then they'll get taken off of the Xbox store and the PlayStation store and the Switch store. The only reason why they're allowed to be on there is because they have no rating. Anything that would, as soon as they get an 18 plus rating, they're automatically kicked off those stores.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So no, they won't get their kids won't be able to watch Roblox and all that other stuff that they make.
Basically, what they don't want to do is lose out on tons of money that they're making.
There's a reason why Kick is not on the there's a reason why Kick is not on the stores for Xbox and PlayStation, because it's owned wholly by Stake, which is a gambling company. So they're not allowed to be on the platform because technically it's considered a gambling website.
Yep. I just think it's shameful. And again, I'm not trying to bust anybody for making money, and please do not send any negative hate to these streamers. We're just trying to bring it to light. That's all we're saying. And I just don't think it should be on here. On a gaming platform. I'm sorry. Break off in real life and take it somewhere else.
But I do.
Here's one thing. Do you respect what?
I do respect the hustle.
I do too. Yeah, absolutely.
And like Adam said, this is not a talent. This is something that people have realized that people are out there looking for it. They'll pay good money for things like hot tub streams, especially if you're an attractive young woman nowadays, and people are out here with this money that they just want to throw away, whether it's bill money or not. They will throw it at you for showing them things, when in all reality they can go on a website and do it for free. But it's what did they call it before? It's a cash cow, basically.
That's the other thing. You can find a lot better stuff on many different sites that I won't mention, but why pay money when you can get better stuff for free? These guys think these women absolutely love them. They don't care about y'all. They just want your money.
They're out there to make a dime.
Yep.
Well,
so go ahead, Jamie.
Then you can see this is going to turn it. This might have to be a 2-day topic. Then you start getting into the whole psychology of parasocial relationships there. or just
Mm-hmm.
because you donate to say said streamer, for whatever reason people think that they somehow have like an invested interest, or the streamer is friends with them, or if they don't like the content that they're doing, that they should be able to dictate what goes on. Like you said,
Yes.
the streamers are not your friends. I mean, granted, you can become friends with streamers, but if you're just sitting there watching them every day and you throw in $5 here and $5 there, doesn't mean you, one, control the content of the stream, two, can talk to the streamer or anyone in the chat in any way, shape, or form that you feel fit. And two, and also, they're not your boyfriend, they're not your girlfriend, they're just a person that's on stream. Like Amaranth is a prime example, where people will donate tens of thousands of dollars, where they literally think that they're going to date this. They have, like, it's sad because you can watch their like posts on Twitter. They literally believe they have like an actual intimate relationship with this person. Like, the more money they donate, that they're going to somehow, some way, get this person. Like, and it's kind of sad in a way. Like, I mean,
It's
It
a
is.
mental
Well,
disability.
it's
It,
actually
it
a stock.
truly is.
It's
Or
called it's called Stockholm syndrome, and it's
yes.
not as severe as Stockholm, because Stockholm, if you don't know, is kidnapper and hostage. They develop a bond. It's the same thing, except on a much less of a scale. But yeah, you're right. It's like those people that are marrying pillows and dolls, and it's
So it falls under, it it does truly fall under like child predation. So there's child predators out there who have this mental disability, we'll call it, that they will reach out to young people. Yeah. Well, I'm calling it that for just simple purposes. But they think that, oh, I can go and give money or give gifts to these young people and pull them in and bait them, and then go and do whatever they want with them once the child or young person is
well,
like, oh yeah, they're giving me $10,000 or a car or whatever. It's just for examples, and child predation is another serious concern with Twitch as a platform, because it has been seen and reported that child predators are using the live stream platform to systemically find and follow children and preteens, these young people out here that are streaming, that are doing these IRL streams in a lot of, sad to say, a lot of times in these hot tub stream, quote unquote, styles of live streaming. And these predators get on here and they'll send them money and gifts and things like this to solely manipulate these children into performing suggestive or outright sexual acts on stream, on Twitch. It's been reported, and it's so sad that this has not become a bigger issue, situation, whatever you want to call it.
Or another prime example is on YouTube and on Twitch. There's been those cases, like in like the definitely in the big time in the Minecraft community and Roblox community, where you have like those minor attracted adults, as you got to call them now. That they have these younger player bases because the game. I mean, granted, games are games. They're created by adults, so they can be shared by adults with people from all ages and all walks of life. But yeah, but people will use them. Like, they've had streamers that were content creators on YouTube for Minecraft, and some people on Roblox and Minecraft on Twitch. I won't mention any of the streamers' names because that's not for us to, that's for them to take care of, which actions have been taken. They've been kicked off platforms, things like that. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, they basically get chummy with these, people. They, set up, they have like their Discord communities and stuff, and then they just engage with them in ways that just aren't appropriate.
well,
And then the saddest part is, what's really sad is you got people in legislation today that when you bring this stuff up, they try to normalize it so much, like they want laws passed to be like these people included in like other rights and stuff, that their rights should be protected. Like this is okay, this is not okay, but society today is almost trying to make this a norm, and it's kind of creepy.
So I want to make
Very
one thing
creepy.
clear on whoever's listening. If you see such heinous acts, please report. The future is depending on our children and their well-being. I promise you. But other than that, I completely agree with you guys that opening a door to brief nudity, then the sexual content, and I know,
And allowing it. This
yeah.
is the sad part. They're allowing it on this major platform.
Well,
And things like this are allowed and looked to the side upon. I mean, it's just, it's overlooked, honestly.
yeah, because they're making money.
Yeah, they won't ever regulate it because one, they'll get kicked off. They'll get kicked off of gaming platforms like physical, actual consoles, like that. Millions and millions of people that then they no longer have access to. And honestly, if they wound up with like an AO rating, guarantee they're going to get kicked off Google Play Store and freaking the iOS store 100%. They're gonna, so they won't ever regulate this. They'll always kind of give you that let's skirt the line portion of this, so we don't need a rating. It's kind of contained to these offshoot channels that we hope kids won't go to. That obviously, if they're a 13-year-old boy, trust me, they're going to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say, I was a young boy at one time. We grew up with Penthouse and Hustler and stuff like that. So I mean, we didn't have Twitch and the internet. So I totally get it. When I was a young kid, oh yeah. So I mean, so kids are actually going and seeing this, and it's not okay.
Exactly. And Twitch does try to implement moderation tools, which in concept, yes, they sound nice, but unfortunately, they're ill-equipped to stop, like, going back to predators. Predators can still find children in the first place. That's what they're, I hate to say it, but mentally bred to do, because that's how they believe. And these competing live stream services like YouTube and TikTok, they do prevent users from streaming until they've had a certain number of followers, which helps inexperienced users keep out of trouble. But instantaneous access to streaming on Twitch unfortunately leaves minors vulnerable. And like Adam said, if you see any of these acts being drawn, like playing out, please report it. Please help
100%.
save the kids and everything, because they are our future. We as adults, there's certain things we can do, and we can do it to the best of our ability. But we're getting older. I know there's not a
speak for yourself.
Oh, yes. I know there's not like, it's too late to do something. It's never too late to do anything. You can always reach out and do something. But the young kids nowadays, they have their whole life ahead of them. If we can help them on the right path now, imagine what they can do in the future.
Hold on. Wait. Yep. I completely agree with you. But, at what point do you moderate it? I mean, you have these people that are doing complete body art in the nude. I mean, they have the tassels on, but I mean,
they're barely covering up anything, though. That's the issue, if any at all.
Bathing suits would cover more.
It's considered body art, and as long as they're not like being like, look at my boobs and stuff like that, and they're just painting and just talking to chat in a respectful manner, Twitch will never do anything against it because it's considered art. I do think, though, they do need to obviously do a better job at filtering it, even if it's, why not just block entire category? I mean, yes. So what Twitch should do is block into entire categories. If the minimum age is to sign up for Twitch is 13 years old, So anything that is 18 rated, or that, you don't have to do a rating. Any category like, say, hot tub and body art should be considered, shouldn't even show up. You shouldn't be able to access it. And since Twitch is doing another thing, which it's kind of cool, it can kind of tie into this, but kind of doesn't. It's a topic for another day. Is they're implementing moderation tools, so if you ban someone from your stream going forward, you can actually content block them to where they can't actually see your stream, regardless if they're banned from chat or not. Which is
that's awesome.
I mean, it's an okay idea, but I think they're doing it in the wrong way. They should actually use that content blocking to block people that aren't the appropriate age to see it, versus trying to block someone that is trying to watch your stream that is banned from actually talking on your stream, which is kind of, because to be honest, if I'm going to ban someone from my stream, I'm not going to content block them watching my stream. I still want the ad revenue. Do you really think I'm going to make it so they can't watch me? I'll just make it so they can't talk, but I'm still going to freaking farm them for ad revenue.
Absolutely.
I mean, that sounds messed up, but what? They're implementing tools, but they're not implementing tools in the way that creators want them in. I mean, there is a few that probably want that, but I can tell you right now, if you get banned from, like, say, Soda Pop and stream, do you really think that they're gonna block you from watching when he goes live? Hell no, they're just gonna block you from chatting. They're gonna they're gonna milk your shit for as many ads as they can get. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
And that brings a whole other topic that we won't get into today.
Yeah, this might have to be a few day topic, because honestly, we can go on about the rise and fall of Twitch. And it can be applied to YouTube. It can be applied to Kick. It's so much so the rise and fall of content in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's entire rings on TikTok and stuff that are into human trafficking, and on TikTok and what is the other one? Instagram and stuff. There's a few other rings that we won't even talk about. What you said about the child thing. There's entire rings on on Instagram and TikTok. If you type in keywords, it will literally serve you content that should not ever be served on any platform.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's pitiful.
Yep.
There's not enough moderation to actually keep things filtered properly. We'll put it that way.
Well, let's not take the blame away from also where it lies, that it is also about parents who are actually moderating their kids, right? There's people that I know that let their kids stream, which is fine, but they're there watching the stream. They don't allow any chat to come across, nothing. And I respect that. But, they're exposed at school just as bad.
Yes.
The amount of social media, like, honestly, I think social media, like, honestly, until you're, honestly, I'm going to say 21 years old, you should not be allowed on any type of social media. I think it's really just destroying. Honestly, I think
at least really 18. Yeah, at least 18 at the absolute minimum.
Well,
the reason I say 18 is because you're out of high school, and let's say you're wanting to use Facebook, for instance, to stay connected with friends that were in class with you that you just graduated with. That's one thing that.
But
I'll give you that one.
No matter what social media apps are out there, Facebook, whatever, it's still going to be used as a dating app. That's the thing that it always comes back to explicit content.
Yes.
I really wish that content platforms like, say, Twitch, Kick, frickin' YouTube, whatever, even cell phone companies, because they allow you to install this, is all right. When your child is, like, when you have a child and they're under the age of 18, that all their content should be it should automatically, anytime, like, somehow there has to be a way and we have enough automation on this planet. We can just do about anything. Seriously, between ChatGPT and automation and AI, why can't we create this where I know people be like, oh, it's like Big Brother or something, like where I don't want to say everybody needs to have IDs to use online. That's not where I'm going with it. But so when you have to have some type of login where you get online, to where anything that they do, like you get a monthly report of whatever your kid does on their cell phone, every message they type, every video that they watch, does not matter whatever someone said in a private chat to them. I know there's or in a text, even on iMessage. I know everybody, like, that's like the taboo thing today. Like, oh my god, like parents don't have the ability to parent and watch kids on these platforms and stuff. But guess what? It's the parents' job to parent, not the states, not Twitch's, not Kick's, no one else's platform. I mean, and that's the reason why content like this thrives on Twitch, is because Billy Joe, 14-year-old, is going to steal mommy's credit card to go get, because he saw a pair of boobas on screen and wants to see more boobas, so he's going to sit there and donate thousands of dollars to this person and look cool on this platform that he wants to be accepted by because all his friends are on there. Or he's going to start, or Shelly Slack Bottoms. I'm just making up names here, guys. Don't go try to find these people. They don't exist. She wants to stream on Instagram and TikTok and Twitch because her friends are doing it. And then you got dudes that are, and she's like 15 years old, and she's got like 40-year-old dudes like oogling her. Like, I mean, granted, people are gonna oogle people IRL too. I mean, you can't stop. But they're typically they're less likely to do it. I mean, even when I was a kid, you had old people oogling teenagers and stuff. Like, we'd have, I won't mention any races or anything, but you would get out of the school and stuff, and our school was literally like right next to like a shopping area, so you couldn't get around it, and people would like oogle the girls leaving, like, oh baby,
so sick. Oh.
So I get it, and that was before the rise of social media.
Yeah.
But at its very basic, I kind of want to tie all this stuff that we're talking about. I know, guys, it seems like we're going off on a tangent and other things. We're talking about the rise and fall of Twitch. But the reason why Twitch rose in the first place was the content that it had. But the reason why it's falling now is, yes, we get it. Sex sells. Sex has been selling before the advent of the computer, before there was even written language. I mean, back in the caveman time, I mean, there's art of Big Booba and stuff like that. Guaranteed you, Booba has been around long before we ever existed, you know. But the whole thing is instead of making this a better place to foster great communities, great gaming content, even IRL content. And there's some amazing streamers out there that do great IRL content. I mean, I've learned how to build some things and use a 3D printer by watching people on Twitch or TikTok or things like that. But in the same token, there's also a darker side to it. And I think instead of concentrating on features and moderation tools and content tools that nobody really needs, or I mean, I'm sure some people want it, but they need to foster, they basically just need to nix all these things and be like, you know what, nope, this is just not needs to be on this platform. I get it, people found their niche, and I will never disrespect the hustle. Like those people, those girls that wear basically tassels on their things and doing it, you know, they got people throwing them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Guess what? That's great. You found your hustle, and I will never disrespect that for you because you found that for you.
Absolutely.
I mean, is it
talent? No.
No. In a way, it is. In a way, it kind of is because they figured out a game that actually works for them, and they know how to perpetually do it. So in a sense, it does take a talent and a certain kind of mentality, but at the same time, there's no real talent. Like in the same time, there's no real talent to just have Booba on screen.
Well,
That takes zero talent.
But-
I could
Exactly.
go to I could go to Cinemax After Dark. I could go to 4chan on a few other roles. I won't say the name because I don't want to promote that. I could go to a few C websites and see that shit live right now for free. And you know what? That content is great for those websites if you like to go to those websites.
Yeah, but
Twitch
Exactly. Twitch is not one of those.
Exactly.
being beautiful is not a
Especially me.
talent. Being able to market your beauty, that's the talent. Realize
Exactly.
what you got and then exploit it, which is fine, but let's make it a separate thing. Let's like Jamie said, have a great gaming community and then have all that other stuff on something else. That
Absolutely.
we don't need this to be the gateway because eventually it's going to be shut down, and the only ones that are going to be suffering is the ones that are actually trying to do it for fun.
Yes.
So
Because Twitch did get started as the leader of it, video gaming category. Yes, there were other categories and stuff as well, and there still are fantastic gamers out there that are awesome to watch. They're hugely talented.
Yep.
And when I do say talent, I mean real talent in this case.
Yep, just
There are
like
people
Shadow
that are-
Omega live at
like
twitch.com.
Shadow Omega and Jamie-JamieLinux. That's Sapphire mega chick. I don't know about her. Anyways,
Nobody does.
There is literally features that we used to have on Twitch that people don't realize that are actually gone that I would love to see back. Like, I mean, granted, we've actually... Okay, I understand the whole rating, like the whole hosting people probably wasn't really... I mean, it was a cool idea, but yeah, it didn't take off. Things like that could go. But I remember back in the day when VODs would last for basically ever until you deleted them and you didn't have to be partnered for that. I remember back in the day, even when they tried doing it in the actual Twitch app that was on PC, you could literally have communities. You could have, if you use the Twitch app, which most people didn't realize. I know people are thinking Twitch app as in like iOS app. No, there was a physical Twitch app that just died not that long ago. If you were, say, on our stream right here on the Shadow Omega stream, we could actually have a sub chat that's part of that chat that is basically just a community chat while the stream is actually going. So you could have general chat, but you'd actually have you can have a community chat that's part of that and foster that chat actually with never leaving Twitch. And you could go to any other stream and still talk to your people on there and foster communities and things like that.
Wow.
Like I said, we also had the unlimited VODs that we used to have. What's another feature that we had back in the day that we used to have IRC chat, so you could actually talk to people. Like, you could actually go to someone's stream without having to be on the app. Say you're on unlimited data and you wanted to like throw in a comment or you had to moderate or something. You could literally do it without actually being on the app itself. We lost that when they went to the new system that they're doing.
Now, is that like the pop-out chat, or is that something different?
So what happens is they went to WebRC, which basically just integrates everything in the website. But before that, Twitch used to run on a few different services. You had the Amazon AWS service that actually handled all the video transcoding, things like that. Then the chat that you actually saw on screen was actually it was an IRC client that was actually integrated into the website. But if you actually went to the Twitch's IRC website, you could go to anyone's channel on the platform through the IRC client and actually talk to people in chat with never actually being physically on the channel itself.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
So
I never used that, so that's cool.
I do kind of miss old Twitch, but regardless. So what can we do as content creators come up with that Twitch could do better to block content such as what we've been going over, the sexual? I
don't think it's necessarily blocking certain things, because I get where they're trying to come from with their policies. What I feel like they should truly implement is some way to filter underage people, under 18 people from those types of categories, whether it be verifying their age somehow with an ID or with parent permission or something that parents can see, XYZ categories to show their children. Like even like YouTube, for example, has like YouTube Kids. You can go to the kids only categories and view that type of content. Granted, that's another topic for another day because there are issues with it as well, but there needs to be something to filter that.
How do
Honestly,
you filter it out? Because you've got games like Grand Theft Auto that are great games, and I'm not knocking Grand Theft Auto, but they are rated R, so to speak. And I mean, so can you even really stop it?
you can. And I can tell you how they can actually fix a lot of their issues.
And by which way?
Bring back the ability for Twitch staff to actually be able to hang out and interact with chat again. It's the one feature that was removed because of the whole, everybody thought it was, and I get it, the whole Twitch partner program, everybody thought it was the good old boy system where if basically the Twitch staff wasn't hanging out in your channel, you were never getting partner and stuff. Now that they have specific guidelines that you need to reach for affiliate and partner, and those are completely spelled out, literally bring back Twitch staff interaction. And that's when it went downhill, is when they actually prohibited the Twitch staff from hanging out in like streamers' channels and just interacting with them. They would even help moderate. So if things were people were interacting in a bad way, or if someone said, hey, someone's being weird, the Twitch staff could just DM them and be like, hey, give me the name. And they can just go back in there and just look into they didn't have to, you didn't have to report it. They could do it live right there.
I think,
and that's when it really became the downfall of it, is when they got rid of all that. When they literally got rid of actual Twitch staff being able to interact with streamers.
Now that is a great idea, because having live moderation, it could clean up a lot of this stuff and get it out of here.
Absolutely.
But
and the cool
live moderation would be huge.
Yeah.
And when you reported them, a Twitch staff person would, and here's the funny part, and this is how I know it worked. Back when not when I first got Twitch, actually for the longest time there, when I was actually I started out as when I was QAing in the beginning for Trendy Entertainment, when we were doing Dungeon Defenders 1. Basically, I was just QAing it. And then we were actually playing like League of Legends in our off time with the Riot devs. And this is back when Twitch was like Justin TV and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you should go check out this Justin TV. It's really cool. I'm like, people are doing like, streaming their lives. They're doing some slight video game footage and stuff like that. And me, I'm sitting there thinking, bruh, what person would sit here and watch someone play a video game when I can sit here and just play the video game myself? I know I'm gonna totally go boomer on everyone's ass right about now, even though I'm not a boomer. Like, my mentality at that time, when I was actually like just getting started in the video game industry, for like 7 years, and I burnt out like everyone else does. Like, I was like, yo, like, I honestly saw no value in it. Just like in the beginning of Google startup, I was like, I don't see why people would want to invest money in a web browser. Boy, the amount of money I could have made on that, but that's a whole side topic.
Right.
Else. But the thing is, like, and then they're like, no, you gotta watch it. So I created, like, it must have been like maybe a few months into Justin TV's time. I created my account. I started watching this stuff. I was like, cool. Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 came out. I was like, you know what? It was the closed beta. It was the closed beta. There was, I guess it was a word of mouth thing saying that you can't actually stream the gameplay of it. But no one ever told me about that. And I didn't really know how this thing works. So I just set up OBS. I set up OBS at the time. And if you guys remember old OBS, it was straight hot dumpster fire, wrapped in a freaking flaming turd, wrapped in someone urinating on it. It was pretty bad.
Gross.
Like you didn't get the chat overlay. No one told me that you had to interact with chat. So all I did is and no one told me anything about like you need to have X bit rate, Y bit rate, things like that. So it's like, well, I have I had like 300 megabytes up and like 300 megabytes down at the time. I was like, okay, I just set up OBS. It's like, all right, 10 megabytes a second seems good. 1080p. Actually, it was like 720p at the time. 10 megabytes seems good. I got like 300 megabytes a second. I'm gonna go live with this, and if people watch it and donate, so be it. This will be like free money because that's what everyone says.
Yep.
So I'm sitting here just like playing Final Fantasy, not even talking to chat. I had no idea like people were even in here, and I even broadcasted it as Final Fantasy 13 first look beta. Come check it out. You want to donate, throw some money, whatever, shit like that. I know it sounds like we're going. I'm sorry. There is a tie into it.
Okay.
But the thing is, a Twitch staffer came into my channel. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna shut off your stream, but you really need to turn off this stream right now. And knowing one of the people that was like one of my coworkers at the time when I was doing QA literally called me on Skype. I was like, dude, you got a Twitch staffer in there like saying you need to shut this shit down like right now. Like it's things like that. And that's why I wanted to bring it back to is it was a live interaction with them. If it was just like a report and be done, it would have probably sat there. I would have probably went on for another few hours, and maybe 7 days later, I'd have been banned for something. Sorry, I wanted to bring it back, and it was kind of a long story. My apologies.
No,
No worries.
I think live moderation would be a great way to go back to. But it's not our company, so what can you do?
But I do like the fact that we can help try to educate people on what Twitch actually has on it today and what they used to have. Still do, technically, but it started out mostly video games and a few odds and ends here and there, and it's truly turned into like, I hate to say it, but like a softcore porn type site. And we need a way to help change it back to what it used to be, or at least filter it to where young kids, underage kids are not seeing those things.
Yeah, I agree.
To close it off, I think really just needs a lot more communication between streamers and Twitch needs to happen, where we can have like an open, like they just need to have a forum where everybody can post their things to it and actually feel heard on it, versus it just being the status quo. Oh, we'll just send in reports, and the reports just, it really depends on whoever's looking at it at the time, and they just need to have clear policies or specific policies. And doesn't matter if you have one viewer or a billion viewers, like that same policy applies. Does not matter if that results in a permanent ban. Well, guess what, I'm sorry, Charlie, this is not the platform for you anymore.
Yep.
Correct.
Make it,
yeah.
you make an example of one and it'll start raining on men, I promise.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for all your good commentary. I think we covered the topic pretty well. I do appreciate you guys hopping in.
No problem.
Absolutely.
All right.
Of course.
Anytime.
Yeah, well, we'll reconvene in the next couple of days. But I'm going to close her out.
All right.
All right. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for watching. Listen.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and then follow the channel. I will put the other two streamers in the channel here so that you can follow them too. Guys, have a great